Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Muse Jester. My name is Junior. And today we're unboxing this big brown box. I think it's a Dragonfly because it's big. It says G.I. Joe Classified. It's right there in the very corner. But it says Jabberjaw. I'm pretty sure it's a Dragonfly. So I'm going to open it up and I'm going to take it out of the brown box to see. Oh, it is a Dragonfly. And there's the back. There's the side. There's the front. The other side. There's the top. Dragonfly XH1. A bunch of stuff over there. So that will be the bottom upside down. It's not that we put it upside down. All right. All right. Now that I have everything unwrapped, I'm gonna do things a little bit differently. Um, I'm gonna show you everything in parts. At least that way we can look at each and every part in detail, so you can kind of get a feel of what to expect. This is the instruction book or instruction sheet. I mean, like, it's very easy to follow, so I suggest just reading through it. Instead of making a mistake and breaking off a part or something. Some legalese. Some sticker sheets. These are on very thick paper. Now, is this stickers or is this one of those things where it's vinyl, like what they're trying to say in the Ecto-1 Haslab, where they're supposed to be, you can reapply them over and over. But there's one. There's the second one. And this is upside down. And there's the last one. Okay. So here's one of the smoke effects. It's kind of a shame that you do see this big seam line over here, but I guess from far away you won't see it. I believe it's transparent, translucent, and it's painted. So this is probably the real look of the plastic. So you can attach it to the back of the missile, actually, while we're talking about it. So here's one of the missiles. I'm not a helicopter guy, I'm not a military guy, so I don't know what these are called. And then you attach it to this one. So one of the things that makes me worry is, like, because this thing, the trail effect is so heavy that it might eventually droop. I can tell you right now, as I'm holding it, it's got a little bit of a bend occurring because of the weight on this thing. So again, here's the missile on its own. This connection over here, you can connect it to the wing or whichever launcher it is, or and then you connect the trail over here, or you can either connect it to the wing using this one, in which case your missile will be in mid-flight, like so. These are the firing effects. There's 4 completely different from each other, I think. Yeah. Or maybe not. I think these 2 might be the same ones. And then these 2 might be the same ones. Now, these are a little bit pliable, as you can see from the bend. And honestly, I think that might be a good idea, because you don't want to drop this and then have it break off on you in the tip. This won't. If obviously, because it's soft and rubbery, it might droop a little in time, but you can warm it up and have it go straight forward again. Not an issue. And there's the tip that you put on each one. All right, so now let's take a look at the base. The base, my first impression is that it's kind of plain. And it feels really light. And I'm trying to remember the feel of the Razor Crest base, because this is very, very similar to the Razor Crest base, and I don't know, it feels light, like I don't remember with the Razor Crest base feeling like it's light. That one actually felt quite solid in terms of feel. But I suppose it does the job, but also this is just so plain that I kind of wish they had a sticker that you can put in this one, and they probably might have that. Okay, now going back on the instructions, I did find out that one of the stickers with the Dragonfly logo can be put or applied here on the base. Even though it does have the sticker on, it just feels kind of lesser quality than the Mandalorian. And I'm gonna tell you right now that even this, the acrylic, the clear acrylic that they used, is again I feel a lower quality than the one they use on the Razor Crest and on the N1 Starfighter, because the one that they used over there, if you can notice, this has a little bit of a fogginess to it. The one that they use on the Razor Crest is completely clear. Let me just change angles really quick and I'll see if I can get you guys a comparison. Alright, so here's a comparison of the Razor Crest base over here. Can you see the acrylic stand, the clear acrylic? You almost can't, right? Because it's so clear. In comparison, here's the G.I. Joe Dragonfly, and not as clear. And you can even see that this one has a raised Mandalorian logo on it. Yeah, this is much thicker. The acrylic here is much thicker. Almost, I'm going to say twice the thickness of this one. Right, so we'll take a look at the rotor mechanism over here. This is actually heavier than I expected. Not a lot of paint job, as you can see. Even the pistons is just straight black. Has enough detail going on. I'm not sure what this is for yet. This is one of the I guess wings, the back wings. Nice detail. This is translucent plastic. And then you have the sticker over here that's already pre-applied. I guess this might, what do you call these? Stabilizer or something? I don't know. Just plain plastic on this one. And here's one of the, I suppose, missile launchers. Just has the silver paint. One of the wings. Again, this is a semi-transparent plastic. But again, just bare plastic. Now this one is also bare plastic. It's just a second type of plastic that's just squeezed it together. Here's the artillery or some sort of ammo feeding box. This is molded separately from the actual casing. So this is just bare plastic with some sort of copper painting going on. Some more missiles going on here. Paint, paint, and paint. And this should be easily removable, right? It plugs in from the side, like so. And I suppose this attaches either to the side of the wings, or the bottom of the wings, or the bottom of the helicopter. And this is the winch, I suppose. I see. This is the one where you pull back and then you use this to pull it back up. I believe this is one of the, this is the only gun that's probably going to mount at the bottom of the nose of the helicopter. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm kind of disappointed by the amount of bare plastic we are getting on this. This is the only paint job in this whole piece. Here's the propellers, one of the propellers. Nice texturing. Does look like it's one of those, what is this, carbon fiber material. This is the only paint in this whole thing, just the white. So yeah, as I was saying previously, I'm kind of disappointed by the amount of bare plastic we're getting in this Haslab, and it's unbelievable that so much bare plastic is occurring in this thing. Now, I have to admit, there's a lot of detail going on with this piece. This is the wrong piece to show because this is the one with the no, this is not the screw. This is for the tail, the yellow tail fin, I think. There's a lot of detail on the sculpting, paneling that doesn't do anything. This is where you put in those wings, tail wings. This does twist around. And I'll talk some more on how I'm feeling towards the paint job on this Haslab, right? So here's the main piece. This is it. This is what we are going to be concentrating on. This is going to be what we're looking at with this piece. Well, and I'd forgotten that this does have electronics, so that's good. What is this for? Some sort of light, but it's actually inside, if you can see it. Oops. I believe this opens. Yes, engine compartment. Look at that, actual paint. Beware blast. This, I feel like this could have really greatly benefited with some sort of paint job, honestly. And I'm trying to remember, I'm looking up at it right now for the his tank. If we had gotten the same amount of surface that's unpainted, and it seems like it is, it's just less noticeable with the his tank because the red kind of pops up out of the black surface. I don't know, maybe I'm being unfair about it. This does not light up, I'm pretty sure, but it is transparent. But man, I don't know. So the cockpit can be opened using this hinge over here, and you can lift it completely. And while we have it up, we'll look inside. Texturing on the seat. There's some of the details in the back of the co-pilot. Texturing over there. Texturing. This is a soft pliable rubber, and I believe it attaches by detaching the second part over here, like so. You have the stick over here that is on a ball joint. You have this lever over here. Notice the unpainted surface. It's got dials in there, but again, unpainted. The back does have instrumentation over here, if you can see that. Again, and this one, instrumentation over here, and that one. At this point, let me go ahead and put some batteries in so we can see what's going on. All right, I've gone ahead and put in the batteries in here. Before we do, let me try to open this up to show it off. So this shows you the inside mechanism, well, the fake mechanism for the guns over here. Aside from being able to lift the cockpit this way, there are hinges to each side, so you can lift and open up the canopy off to the side. I would be very careful doing that though, because this is clear plastic, and we all know that with clear plastic it's a little bit more brittle than regular plastic. Do not force it any more than that. I feel like that's the maximum you can lift it. And then there's also on the other side where you can lift this part. Now I've already installed the 3 AA batteries on this one. The on switch is over here. Let me lift the canopy. It's better to put it that way. When you press it first, you will see that it lights up, and then you can, that's when it really comes alive, because you'd see all these instrumentation coming up. I would have liked it if it were in different colors rather than just the green. That's the first button push, and there's nothing in here. Here's the second button push, and you'll notice this one lit up. This one is kind of dimly lit up. I think that's just a light bleed. And then you press a third time. Now that is a very strong, I guess that's kind of like a searchlight of something. Throughout the whole ordeal of pressing that, this remains lit. So that's the third button push. The fourth one will basically just, I think it turned off the lights over here. And then the fifth one turns it off completely. There is a rotating turret over here. So I've gone ahead and removed the rope that was attaching the clear rod to this thing. Even though this does grip it, it doesn't grip it very well. I think it would have been better, and I don't know why they didn't do it. See how this thing has a peg? I'm sure it's used for something, like maybe you can put a figure on that. I think what they should have done was put another peg here wherein you can peg this in, because it's holding it but barely on there, so it's easy. Well, I guess that's good enough, I suppose, because that's just there for support. So let me go ahead and assemble the whole thing completely, put it on the base, and we'll talk about it some more. All right, so now I've finally installed everything the way I want it. Obviously, there's different configurations you can do. I've decided to go with this one with the missiles on each end. This whatever this thing is, and then the whatever this thing is. Sorry. um, I found out that this actually is kind of interesting the way they have it attached. I thought the missile was just going to attach to this one, but you do need this little piece over here to attach the missile over here. And the nice thing is that this part right here actually is molded into the effect over here, the smoke effect. I think you can see it. So it definitely is holding this trail effect, not just by the 2 pegs over here, but the entire plastic over here. So that makes it really nice and stable. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the instruments if I can. So final thoughts, because I've pretty much shown you everything, and I want to tell you what I think about it. It's lighter than I expected. Now that I've got it assembled, it's a lot more substantial, but the first time you hold just the main body, you'll feel like it's really light. I feel like the overall weight is good, because if you want to hang it in the ceiling as one of your displays, it's definitely feasible. Um, when you're looking at it right now as it is, it looks very impressive. Really, it does. It's just that I feel this was what, $300 for the price that we pay. It's a Haslab. I know it's meant to be a toy. It's meant to evoke the playability factor that we had when we were playing with the 1980s G.I. Joe toys and vehicles. But this is a Haslab. This is supposed to be a premium project that we backed. And I'm not even talking about the price point, right? It's just a premium product, and it's not delivering that in terms of paint. Um, in terms of scale, it looks good. Even the base, like I showed you before, it's less than what I expected comparing it to the Haslab of the Star Wars. Um, like the moment you feel it, you and you just looked at your Razor Crest, which I happen to do because I just bought the Razor Crest less than a month ago. That was the first thing I noticed was like, man, there's something wrong with this base because it felt different. And now that we've taken a look with the Razor Crest base, it's definitely way different. Um, $300 for something this big, it is big. Uh, if you compare it to his tank, which I'm not going to bring down off of that shelf, it's got more shelf presence than a his tank would. Um, I also want to point out, and this is going off on a tangent, of why I switched to the 3 3/4 scale Star Wars vehicles. And I will tell you, this is not what I expect from a Haslab premium project. This is what I would, something that I would expect from something that is easily ordered from the Hasbro Pulse. What do I mean by that? Not in terms of scale, not in terms of lighting, not in terms of effect, but in terms of quality. Here's an N1 Starfighter that was on retail for 120. So it basically has the base. Look at even the base on this one is even thicker. It's even premium, more premium quality than this one. It's got an embossed Mandalorian name on it. It's painted. This base feels more premium than that base. I'm just saying. And the reason why I'm comparing the N1 Starfighter to the Haslab Dragonfly is the lack of paint. This is a gorgeous model. It really is. You look at it and you see, wow, that looks just like the N1 Starfighter. But when you hold it in hand, because they didn't go the extra mile of painting the surface, you're thinking, this is 120? That's how I'm feeling about the Dragonfly right now. This is $299. When you look at it, it's impressive. The design is impressive. The light is impressive. The effects of the accessories, that's impressive. But this is $299. This is what we get for $299 because of the paint. This is what's missing on the Dragonfly. The color, the paint job. That's what's missing. Now, I know you're here for the Dragonfly review. This is basically my last thoughts on it. And the reason why you're seeing the Razor Crest right now, you probably haven't seen my review of the N1 Starfighter, which I did previously before I did the review on the Haslab Razor Crest. So my feelings for the N1 Starfighter reflects exactly how I'm feeling with the Dragonfly right now because of the lackluster paint. And when I switched over to the Haslab a week later, I was more impressed with the Haslab because even though it's not painted silver, like this one feels like it is bare paint, because they did washes all over the whole figure, dirtied it up, you know, it made it just a little bit more premium. Honestly, this is basically exactly like the N1 Starfighter. Look, it even has the same kind of coloring options that they have. This is bare plastic, but the main body is washed up. And that little bit, just basically made it okay. That's kind of good enough for me. It could have been better, but it's good enough for me. Even you can't see it here, I suppose, but there is washes applied to these mechanisms. It's haphazard washing, but at least it's there. And now we go back to the Dragonfly Haslab, and I'm gonna go off on a tangent on this one. And I believe this is why I'm being more critical about this product than I probably would have been if I had not gotten into the Star Wars 3.75 line. In the past month, I've spent a lot of thousands of dollars on about the Star Wars 3.75 vintage line. And I'm going to tell you why. I'll show you to you why. This is not a fair comparison. It really isn't. But I had to do this. This is the X-Wing that was produced in 1995 by Hasbro. You'll notice that even though it's got bare plastic, unpainted, it's got enough details on it, washings, paint, to make it stand out a little bit better than the Dragonfly as it is right now. Right? This was produced almost 30 years ago. This also has light up features, but more importantly, this has sounds,
R2, fire up the converter.
electronics. It's got lights. This one does light up too. I can't remember what causes it to light up, but you can see R2 has its own light.
R2, fire up the converter.
Yeah, sometimes it lights. There you go. So this was produced 40 years ago. Guess for how much? Go ahead, take a guess while I put this back on. Remember, the Dragonfly is $300. All right. Admittedly, the stature of the Dragonfly, its size, is impressive. $300 worth. That X-Wing that was produced in 1995 with the lights and sounds, $30. Now, granted, we have inflation. Even if you count 6 times the amount of inflation, that $30 would have been $180. Something that was produced 40 years ago has more paint, more features, and just more fun factor than what's being currently produced for us now as a premium Haslab that we need to back in order to fund and be produced. Well, that one was on the shelves. And I'm also going to say that the Haslab Razor Crest does not have lights, as far as I know, because I've only played with it recently. It does have a lot of play feature in it. So that's what's really pushing it in a much different category than the Dragonfly. It's kind of an unfair comparison, but is it? So, is the Dragonfly worth the $300? If the price of $300 is equal to 10, it's almost painful to say this. I'm going to have to say the value is slightly below 10, maybe 9. And it's so weird that I'm doing that only because of the paint job. It's just that, and I probably wouldn't feel this way if I hadn't been seeing what I'm getting for my money's worth when it comes to the vintage line of Star Wars. The vehicles, the size that I'm getting, what I'm paying for them right now. It's not right. So I am still expecting the Rattler. I'm not as anticipatory of that product as I was with the Dragonfly, because remember, that was before I'd gotten into the Star Wars vintage line. So my expectations have somewhat increased or been jaded by what we used to get as toys, regular off the shelf toys, to something that's being offered to us as an almost Kickstarter funding, you know, item. It's the immensity of the item is awesome. It really is. It's just I'm running out of space. Maybe that's a factor too. That the fact that I'm running out of space and I'm having to decide which of my collections are going into the bins. McFarlane toys, just to mention. All my McFarlane toys are going to a bin. They're just not worth the space that I'm giving them. And I have to make room for the Star Wars vintage line. And so maybe that's a factor to my lack of enthusiasm for the Dragonfly and the G.I. Joe classified lines. The figures are, don't get me wrong, the figures are still one of my favorites 6-inch line out there. It's a 112. I still feel you get a lot for those figures. The vehicles, I'm it's a paint job, guys. Come on. Let me just be blunt here. A wash, a few scuffing marks of silver. You know, I don't know how much that would cost us extra, but come on. Just push it with just a little bit more effort. That's all I gotta say. So I feel the value is $9 compared to the price of $2.99. So the value is slightly below the price. Somewhat disappointing, and it's only because of the paint, and then the lack of quality in the base compared to what we've gotten on other Haslabs, on other figures, on other items. The lights, I'm not gonna ding them for that because it's almost like the way it was with the His tank. The accessories are great. The size is cool. And I mean by itself, it's by itself the dimensions of this thing is impressive. It really is. But how else can I put it? You can have a beautifully designed car with nothing but bare white paint and say that's a good looking car. But you apply a beautiful car paint finish on it and it will enhance what was there before to a higher level. And that's what's missing with this product. That last push to enhance the quality of this. I don't even care about the fact that the base is a lower quality than I expected. It does its job. Okay, but all I'm caring for is the item itself. It just needed something else, something more to enhance it, to say this is a premium product. This deserved to be backed and funded and all that stuff. Anyway, that's my point of view with the Dragonfly from G.I. Joe Classified. I'm sorry, I wish I could have given it a better review than it deserves. It's my money. I have it here now, and I'm looking at it, and all I can see is like it needs something for me to say, now you need to buy it. You know what I mean? Or it is worth it. That's what it was missing. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys again soon. I will do a separate review of the figures themselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye.